Yes, I remember those days very well, those days 5 years ago. Tension was rising, excitement was at an all-time high. In a few days, I would lay my hands on my magic carpet for the first time. My Cessna 170. But as so often, fate threw me a couple of curveballs. The first one was a blizzard that was forecast just for the day when I was to cross the Andes in a bus that would bring me to Santiago to catch my flight to the US. I spontaneously decided to leave a couple of days early, and I made it, just. And the second one came after I had settled in my Airbnb in Santiago. I came down with a real severe flu. Now what? Hey, I'm Wolf. I'm a retired physicist and a glider and tailwheel pilot. After many pills and a couple of hot showers, I considered myself airworthy again, and I made it to Boston. One night to recover from jet lag, and the next morning at 7:30, the rendezvous with my bird. "Here she is," said Greg, welcoming me at the hangar. "Waiting for you and all ready to fly." Well, yes, there she was. Beautiful, my Cessna 170. Really nice with this white and blue paint job. I couldn't believe it. Is that true? I had to pinch myself to make sure I wasn't dreaming anymore. But no, this was my boyhood dream realized. My looking her over, my touching her, my admiring all the details was cut short when Greg asked me, "You think you can land her?" Me? After a couple of hours in a J3 and a tailwheel endorsement in a Cessna 170? "Perhaps," I answered, "but I would really prefer you to teach me so I can say confidently, 'Of course I can land her.'" And that's when 10 days of intense training started. Takeoffs and landings, maneuvers, radio protocol, ATC procedure. There was a lot to learn and a lot to refresh. And also a lot to enjoy, of course, like visiting some of those grass strips in the area and stopping for lunch every once in a while at one of those cute small airports along Cape Cod. Hey, Katema, I remember you. It was great. And when I felt confident, I thought the time had come to take my bird on a shakedown cruise. I wanted to visit my former glider club. So I loaded up all the camping gear. I prepared and briefed the flight with Greg, and one Saturday I took off. It was a beautiful day. Blue skies, started with cumulus, a little bit on the breezy side, but that didn't bother me too much. I stopped on a little airport on my way to practice a couple of crosswind landings and arrived at my destination in the late afternoon. And then it was an evening and almost an entire night of telling stories and sharing nostalgic memories. Wonderful. I spent 2 nights there to try out and test all my camping equipment, and I used the days to hop from one small airport to another in upstate New York and into Vermont. Great practice. And before I took off on my trip back to home base, I had compiled a short list of a few squawks and a couple of items I wanted to add to my camping equipment. So it took me a couple of days to get all this sorted out, and then the time had come to launch on my first real trip. Flying across the eastern US, camping under the wing. I was pumped. And I will tell you all about this wonderful adventure in my next video. So thanks for watching, and I see you next time.